This conference will now be recorded.
Time is now 6:02, and Tuesday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's to everybody. Call to order the Tilton Planning Board meeting. And the first order of business on the agenda is a change of use. It's to convert the vacant second floor space previously used as office space into 3 one-bedroom apartments. That's, if you want to know where it's located, it's where V's is on the bottom floor. And it's the second floor where the offices were, and they want to convert those into 3 one-bedroom apartments. And I think we have make a motion to bring the application to the board for discussion. Is there a second?
Second?
In favor?
Aye. Aye.
So I believe the contractor is here to answer any questions, right? Or discuss what they're going to do. I mentioned a little earlier before y'all got here that my main concern with this for the planning board is parking. So the ordinance does say any expansion of residential area needs to be reviewed for parking in the downtown area per the parking ordinance. So I just caution you, this is similar to the expansion we had across the street with additional living spaces. And you need 2 per unit, so that's 6 spots.
Yeah. So it'll be an additional 6 spots. How many employees were in the office when it was office space? Do you know that? How long ago was it an office?
That was some time ago, as far as I know. The last I knew was in there was that bank. And there was some sort of, at least 10, 15 years.
No, it was an ice cream place at one time, and it's been several things, so. It was a cupcake place,
Well,
On the second floor?
upstairs, yeah. Upstairs.
but I don't know what was,
think
I
the
never
bank
knew
office
what was
still-
upstairs.
I think the bank still had that, and they had a community room on the
Okay.
side by the church there that they used, let people use.
Okay. So they would have had several employees, I would probably, that use parking there. If it was an extension of the bank. All right, how does the planning board feel about it?
And personally, I'm all for it. I think the biggest issue is the parking. Previously, there's a space that was turned into like a green area out back in front of the fire station. I don't know if that could be utilized for some parking.
Is that parking going to be available to the apartments?
That's true.
And there's parking across the street in the T-Hop lot. They're 1-bedroom apartments too, so
Is there overnight parking allowed in the T-Hop spot?
I
didn't
don't
think
think
so.
so. I think that's
No.
Yeah, because I never see
a
anyone overnight
limited
there. Yeah,
time.
it's a
I'm
town
not
lot.
sure either, but I thought that was, yeah, I didn't
I
think that
think
was
there's a
overnight.
limit on time on that, on certain areas. Is
For
that
those
H lot?
apartments?
Is that H, I think? So the apartments have some directly behind there, and I think there's some for each apartment, and I think there's 7 spaces that are, you would have to look at the,
Yeah, I think 7 is the right number.
seven.
The town has 7 spaces, but they're not, so the T-Hop lot here and the 7 spaces they have are along the river.
Along the river.
But those are used a lot. I mean, those are always, we were just down there today. They were usually all taken, I think, by those buildings
Well,
on
I
the
looked I
riverside.
looked coming down tonight, and they're all full.
Yeah,
All the spots in T-Hop are
the
full.
apartments on the riverside,
Hmm.
I think take those. I mean, I guess anyone can take them, but they're right there,
Hmm.
right? Those,
I know different areas have different time. H, yeah. Mm,
right, not by the apartments that are there, right?
Hmm.
The owner of Casamigos building
has
owns the
some.
others. But then
I
there's
think
the,
the Ideal Hall has some, I think.
I don't know
But-
if they do or not, because we've had that problem with one of the
Mm.
handicapped tenants at Ideal
So
Hall.
it could be looked up online. I know there's good descriptions of it. The nice thing is eventually, if all goes well, that fire station will be gone, which will free up a lot of spots if it ever works out. But for the time being, it's tough. So, but it is, they are loaning that property to the town for the parking.
And for one-bedroom apartments, there's a need for 2 spaces per apartment,
Code.
the code.
I'm sorry, you asked me a
The
question.
code says that you need 2 spaces per apartment.
Residential dwellings need 2 spaces per unit dwelling, and prior to approval of a change of use or expansion in the downtown district, the planning board may require verification that existing public parking will provide adequate parking accommodations.
I think there's adequate parking.
Mm. Well, the point is that the parking lot is the property of the owner of that building. And they're loaning that, they're allowing us to park there, the town. You know, on the, would be west side of the fire station.
Also those down there.
That whole strip is all theirs, but they're allowing us as the town to give them permission to do it. So technically,
It's,
you're speaking that they could say, okay, well, now we're going to take 7 spots and, or.
They are. They'll be taking
yeah.
6 spots, right?
Or more or less, yeah. So
those are 6 spots that are designated to the fire district.
no, the fire district has some on this side,
Okay.
but we, at the east side, but we have, the owner owns ones on the west side. So I think,
There shouldn't be
they,
a problem.
yeah, they have, technically, they do have parking spaces that are theirs. Don't think there was
All
any
right.
special. There wasn't any special, like, contract. It's been I think a handshake type thing. The owner on the parking spaces, if I remember. Yeah.
Just said,
Mm.
because they just allowed, because all they had was Vs in that building, is that
Yeah.
right?
Well, I don't have a problem with
Yeah,
it.
I don't.
Tom, do
see.
you have a problem?
Not a bit, not a bit.
I think we've discussed all the possible problems.
Could you, in your motion though, just say, mention that you have, with the accommodation that their parking spaces are provided by their own ownership, so that
Yeah.
if anyone
Tom, you wanna
questions.
make a motion?
Yeah. Oh, one more question. Is that sprinkled or required to be sprinkled? And would that be conditional on permits?
Yeah, they'll have to go through
Have to go
the
through the fire.
building code and fire, which they've already been talking with
Oh, okay.
building and fire. So,
So
yeah, whatever
in
they
the motion,
require.
would it be,
I think they do have to be sprinkled, I think, but.
Meet all the requirements, state
Okay.
and local.
Right, correct.
so I'll make a motion that we approve that or accept that application or
For a change of use.
Change of
change
use.
of use and pending approval of all local
Permits and.
permits and, yeah.
You want to put something about parking?
It's just a use, you're just allowing the use change,
Yeah,
really,
I'll
not
second
really
that motion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the other applicant is not here tonight. She submitted this and then asked to be on the 28th agenda. So I think this is pretty minor. I hesitated to bring it to the board more for informational. I don't think she needs to come back on the 28th. I know the 28th is also candidates night, so I thought maybe you wouldn't want to meet just for this one issue. If you do, she can come back on the 28th. But this is the restaurant, used to be a restaurant. She's making no changes to the site, doing some interior renovations. So if you have any questions, I probably can answer
It
them.
used to be our family tree.
Lone Star Barbecue.
It's just
Jay's
this
Marina.
side of Mosquito Bridge.
Oh, gee, yes, I saw that, and they got the deck and all that
Yeah.
out there. They have plenty of parking.
They're not changing anything outside from the
And you
site.
say Chuck has been out there?
Chuck's been out there. They just want to expand the bar inside. They have the docks, it's gonna be called Docks, DOX, at Winnisquam. Yeah, and they have a couple other restaurants, so they know the business and seem to be doing a good job getting all that paperwork in.
I don't see any problem with it. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of delighted that we have one coming back.
Me too.
It's not even truly a change of use because it's restaurant to restaurant, but it's been abandoned so long, I thought it was worth, or not a restaurant for quite a few years. So I don't even know if you really need to make a motion on this. We're ready to.
I don't see any need for them to come back on the 28th either. Chuck's been out there and everything's in compliance.
Now they say lit logoed sign in current location with digital largest allowable, so,
They'll have to come for a sign
oh, okay.
permit as well.
And.
Okay.
I don't even know if it's there.
Make sure I didn't have anything, signs there. They're not doing any additional paving or,
They're not doing it. They said they're not doing
That's
anything.
right.
I don't even know if they're painting the exterior. I don't think they're doing anything in the exterior right now.
kind of firing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're just working on the interior and getting it probably ready for spring.
I don't think we had any violations with
No.
taken back then on that,
We did,
under Zach's. And that.
no.
Okay.
Hi, Eric. Yes,
Yeah, go up to the podium.
it's,
Make sure the mic's on.
we haven't opened it to the public though.
Or come on down.
Come on down, Eric.
So I just, in the interest of protecting the town, that went from a restaurant to a function space
Oh.
because they had it as a function space. Now it's going back to a restaurant. So is that a change of use or not?
So it was that family tree and then it was a function space and then Lone Star or Lone Star before the function space? Do you know?
I
Lone
thought it was
Star
Lone
Barbecue?
Star before.
It was Lone Star before the function place.
And then it was Zach's before that.
Dax was way back,
Yeah,
but
and then family tree was there.
Yep.
Well,
because it would be, and then how many years is it considered to be abandoned?
Right.
it wasn't
That's-
abandoned. It's,
Well, that's why they did the paperwork for the change of use, to make sure that.
Well, I'm just worried about if it being a change of use as it went from a function space. I believe it went from a function space, from a restaurant to a function space. Now it's going back to a restaurant. That's all.
So the application is for a change of
Yeah.
use.
we just don't think that they need to come in here. That's what
For
we're
site
saying.
plan.
All right?
They applied for the change of use.
It's going to be a full-service restaurant. It's a proposed use.
So I'm.
It's an existing restaurant and they're reopening as a restaurant.
I think Eric's point was it is not an existing restaurant. It
Yeah,
was an
and
existing
that's why I was just looking at it.
But they
did
maybe
say
didn't know.
existing.
Yeah.
So maybe a comment it was a closed restaurant
Yeah, man,
is
to
more
me,
appropriate.
to me, it's the same thing. A function hall is the same as a restaurant. I don't see that much of a distinction. And I don't see a problem. And I'll make a motion that we accept it and that they do not have to come back. If there's a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So you can let them know that.
Yeah, so she's not from the 20th. Well, we can talk about that after. That's fine. So she doesn't have to.
Okay. And the next on the agenda are the minutes of January 24th. Has everybody had a chance to review them?
Yes, I read them on.
I read them online too.
Yeah.
I even brought copies of things tonight, and then you provided them. I know.
I think they're under my taxes on the kitchen table.
Well, I was been on the
Dining room
computer.
table.
That's why I did them. Because I've been on the computer for other stuff. Okay, I'll make the motion to accept the minutes as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And other business, I just have, we had a little blip because of topsoil, question about soil being removed from the town of Tilton. And I want to let you know that the 3 properties will be going to the zoning board on the 21st at 6 o'clock. If you'd like to listen in, I think it will be Zoom, or if you want to attend the zoning board. And I think that everything is all cleared up now.
Or on a path.
Yeah.
On the proper
Everything
path
cleaned up,
to
okay?
rectify situations.
Yeah.
They didn't actually, they were, so
I sent did you get my letter?
Yeah,
John?
so I'd gotten some calls, because I'm sure everybody saw the huge pile of loam that was in dirt that was at the preserve, and it was being loaded to dump trucks. However, those trucks were taking it from this part of the preserve and moving it to that part of the preserve. So
The
shifting-
topsoil anyway.
Yeah, they were shifting that stuff around.
And I went and watched that take place, so. I know.
But there is a lot of unusable dirty
So-
dirt and other rock that is being taken off to get rid of.
That requires going to ZBA for a special permit for that.
To move it from one place to another?
No, to leave off
So
site.
take it
Well,
off
no,
site.
to leave it, right, to take it off site,
Yeah, any earth off site is,
any earth.
Yeah.
Even at your house, if you live in the agricultural district and you get a wheelbarrow of earth, you cannot roll that off your property. Put it
Now,
across the street.
Mhm.
I know that somebody said something to me who happened to live on the road almost across the street at Market Basket about the dialysis building. I don't know whether you've been by there recently or not, but it's nothing but it's great big rocks. I mean,
They also have some topsoil though. I spoke to them and
but if you
they,
could see the rocks that are there.
oh yeah,
it's
they had,
amazing.
yeah, they had a lot of rock. They moved their material. Everybody that I spoke to wants to save their topsoil. It's very expensive and needed. So some of them have to move it off site to do their work or to let it dry.
that's.
Theirs is at some land just up the street in Samberton and they're bringing it back. U-Haul's the same thing. Theirs is being stored at Pike, and as soon as they're done, they're bringing it back. So they're holding it for them to bring it back. So
I just wanted to mention that in case anybody's listening who had any concern, because I know there were people who had concern.
I did.
It's all under control.
Okay.
It's all being done properly.
Okay.
And they'll be going before zoning on the 21st, if you want to listen into that meeting, okay? That's
Good.
all I had.
Good.
Anybody else have anything?
I do. I have just one thing. So as I said earlier, the 28th is candidates night. I know John is a candidate. I don't know if you are, Jane, but you
I
often
am.
run for many different things. So I thought maybe you would. So since we don't have any site plan applications, we only have this. I mean, there's plenty of other things we could be working on, but I assumed you might want to forego the meeting because if John's not here, Jane's not here.
We don't have a quorum.
So if you want to make that decision now, it's just easy. We'll just post it as no meeting on the 28th.
Fine with me. And I just want to say that we have several openings on the planning board. So anyone in the audience who happens to be here, please think about joining the planning board. We are a good group. Well, John's in question, but
Sometimes I wonder about you too.
I know. All right, with that in mind, no other business, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Way to go.
and
Let him turn.
I apologize, my mic is dead.
Well,
Oh,
we're
wait, is
adjourned
it?
anyway.
No,
But
it's
live.
not.
Now it's dead.
Oh, we're not
Now
adjourned?
it's dead.
Are we
It
adjourned?
was live. It was
I
live.
was? Okay.
He